My name is Somashekar, course faculty for this course. Hello friends, very good morning to one and all. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture 6. Please note, you have studied in the last lecture the followings: simple numerical problems on gear pump to ascertain the volumetric displacement, actual flow rate, etc. We started in the last class the vane pumps, in which we began with introduction, different types of vane pumps, constructional details, operations, vane loading and different methods to overcome the vane loading in a vane pistons. Efficiency characteristics and a simple numerical calculations are studied in the last lecture. In today's lecture, we will discuss in detail the piston pumps. Quickly we will see the pumping theory, different types of piston pumps, constructional details, operating principles, pump failures, pump selection criteria and some simple numerical calculations to ascertain the volumetric displacement using the geometrical relationship of the pumping elements. Friends, let us will begin with lecture 7 with organization of presentation. As I have told you in the last slide, the whole lecture is concentrating mainly on piston pumps, pumping theory, different types, hand pumps, which are the basics of piston type pump category, also wide applications in industry. Then actually we move on to the widely used hydraulic pumps, axial piston pumps. Here we will discuss the different categories, bent axis and a swash plate type, and radial piston pumps. We will also study today pump failures, pump selection criteria, simple numerical calculation to ascertain the volumetric displacement, theoretical displacement, etc. Finally, we will end it with concluding remarks of the lecture 7. Already we have seen this pumping theory in the last lecture. Already we know that when a hydraulic pump operates, it performs two functions. What are those? Initially, due to the mechanical action, it creates a partial vacuum at the pump inlet, which allows the atmospheric pressure to force the fluid from the reservoir into the pump inlet. This is called a suction, and it delivers this sucked fluid to the pump outlet positively, again due to the mechanical action of the pumping elements. So quickly I will show you the pumping theory in the reciprocating pumps. As we know, this is a piston pumps, simple piston pumps. Here the half cycle, meaning when the piston is moved from left to right, it will draws the fluid through the check valve 1. The path of least resistance is only this. Also please note friends, when the piston moves out, what happens? This volume increases. there is a close fitting between the piston diameter and the cylinder inside diameter, then air will not pass from this to this. Please note this. That is why piston pumps are very close tolerances between the matting element. If air will pass from here to here, vacuum will not create. The creation of vacuum is a prime importance in all the pumps. When the piston is drawn out, what happens? Momentarily vacuum is created here. Also fluid will be drawn when the piston will draws out. The volume increase. This is what you can call the half stroke, half cycle it is. The complete stroke is another when the piston will move pushed in. Then what happens? The fluid present here will pass through the outlet, through the non-return valve, what you can call check valve 2. Here oil will not move here because it is a only unidirectional valve, it is NRV. Please note friends, here when the piston is pushed in, what happens to here? Volume decreases. This is the prime importance in the all pumping theory. Volume increases, always a suction will take place. When the volume decreases, always a discharge takes place positively to the outlets. This is what you can call the pumping theory. Let us will see here also. When it will take out, the fluid is pumped in. When piston is pushed in, it will take out. This is one of the important theory what you have to remember. Then quickly I will show you the recap of tree structure of pumps. Whatever I filled here, we already finished. Now in the last stage, we want to cover more on the reciprocating type, generally the piston type. They are classified into the hand piston pumps and axial piston pumps. In hand piston pumps also there are varieties are there, we will discuss today. Here in axial piston pumps plays a dominant role in the fluid power industry. Here they are classified as bent axis pump, swash plate type. In swash plate type, rotating swash plate or a fixed plate. Radial piston pumps, stationary cylinder block and a rotating cylinder block. If you will finish this, it will end the complete discussion on the hydraulic pumps. Let us will begin today on this piston pumps. Before going to study in detail, I will give you general characteristics of the piston pumps in hydraulic industry. Piston pumps can be manufactured with closer internal fits than can other pumps. This means internal slippage can be less, so they can operate with reasonable efficiency at a pressures both too high or too low for satisfactory operations of other pumps. All piston pumps have working elements enclosed in a case, what you can call housing. Pressure in the case must be kept low to avoid over pressurizing and blowing out a shaft seals. External case drain connections are provided, which should be drained directly to reservoir without combining with the other tank return lines. They should never plugged. Back pressure in the case drain lines must be kept very low. Before starting up a new system with a piston pump, the case should be filled with oil to avoid a dry running before internal slippage can fill the case. Now let us will begin with the hand pumps. Already you come across these hand pumps in many places. Let us will see now what are these hand pumps and its applications very quickly. Hand pumps are manually operated pumps. They use human power and a mechanical advantage to move fluids from one place to another place. They are widely used in every country in the world for a variety of industrial, marine, irrigation and leisure activities. Typical applications include the hydraulic jacks, which will lift the large load with a very minimal force. Workshop trolleys, you see workshop trolleys. Small bending presses. Reserve pump in case of failure of motor driven pumps. Clamping in workshop is usually done with the hand pumps. There are wide applications are there for the hand pumps. Let us will see one by one. They are usually the piston type, as I have told you. Main features are high pressure low displacement pumps. Piston size cannot be selected very big because of the available manual energy in the order of 250 Newton to 300 Newton. Handle length varies from 1 meter to 1.5 meter. Stroke angle limited approximately 20 degree. The time required to fill the fluid, the given cylinder volume, depends largely on the piston size and stroke length. So, the design calls for about 40 to 50 strokes per minute. There are various categories of hand pumps are available commercially. Single acting hand pump, single acting double piston pump, double acting hand pump and a two-stage hand pump. Let us quickly will see with the schematic diagram of these. This is a single acting hand pump, friends. Here you please see the figure here. This is a cylinder and this is a piston. This is a hand lever to move up and down this piston. When the piston is drawn out, fluid will sucked through the tank here through non-return valve. When you will push up, whatever the fluid you have drawn, it is pushed to the outlet through the non-return valve 2. What you can written here is a pressure side NRV. To release the load here, there is a manual arrangement bleed valve. If you open this bleed valve, the flow will directly go to the tank. Okay. So, oil is sucked as the piston is drawn out and oil flows through the suction side through the non-return valve suction side NRV. When the piston is pushed up, oil is driven out through the pressure side NRV and enters the bottom side of the load cylinder. Load cylinders I have not shown here. The outlet is going to the load cylinder to move up and down. The bleed valve or a drain valve is hand operated. When opened, allows the load to be lowered by bleeding the oil from the load cylinder back to the oil tank. It will not enter here, directly it will go here to the tank. This is schematically shown in the line diagram here, friends. Here I have shown load cylinder also. You will see this is a hand pump actually. Hand pump, it is a lever, B is pivoted. ABC is a handle, B is pivoted point with a arm ratio 200 to 50. When you will move, push down, what happen? Piston will taken out. Then what happen? Oil will be sucked from the tank to this, fill this cylinder. It will not go here because path of least resistance is here only. Vacuum will create here. Then when you will push down here piston, then oil will go to the load cylinder to lift the load. To lower the load, no arrangements. What is here? It is, you will see here, the bleed valve is there. You will open the bleed valve, then directly it will go to the tank. To lowering, I am using the bleed valve or a drain valve in the single acting hand pumps. So, the geometrical displacement from the pump is easily arrived as area pi by 4 d square into h. H is the stroke. Very, very simple, friends, here. How much oil geometrical displacement based on the diameter of the piston here into stroke. Now we will see twin single acting hand pump. You will see the arrangements here, friends. Two cylinders are there, and this is rod is connected through handle pushed in and out. Then you will see the arrangements are made through the non-return valve for the discharge as well as the suction. How it operates, you will see the twin single acting hand pump. Each displacement of handle, this is a handle, up and down motion, load cylinder, here you will see the load cylinder, receives the flow. That is, suction and discharge takes place simultaneously. When you will move down, both suction will take place as well as discharge also takes place. When you will move up, again suction will take place, discharge will take place in the twin single acting hand pump. How it is, we will see now. You will see, friends, now I have shown here, when you will handle will move up, what happens here? The volume decreases, meaning whatever the fluid is there, it will go to the load. Then what happens here, when you will move up, volume increases, what happens? It will suck the fluid through this direction. Similarly, when you will push the handle down, what happens here, friends? Volume decreases here, whatever the fluid is there, it will go to the load. Then here volume increases, when you will push down, what happens? Oil will be sucked through this NRV. Please remember, for every up and down motion of the handle, the fixed quantity of oil will be sucked and discharged based on the diameter of the piston used. This is a twin single acting hand pump. Now we will move on to the double acting hand pump. Double acting hand pump. You will see here again arrangements are made here. Double acting hand pump. Here we are using the differential piston. Here you will see the pressure side valve, and it is a suction side valve, and a tank is here. This is a handle, friends, handle. This is the piston. The up and down motion of this will make the fluid sucked in through the suction side NRV. Then it will discharge through the pressure side NRV. This is a outlet where loads, it will connect it to the load cylinder. Now I have drawn the simple schematic of this to understand better double acting hand pump. You will see, friends, here what are the arrangement. When the piston is moved up, what happens? You will see, understand neatly, the fluid will be sucked through the suction side valve. Then the fluid, when it is moving up, whatever the fluid is there, it is going to the load. Please understand this, because the oil will not go here also. Meaning, as the piston is drawn outward, moving up, what happens? Chamber area 1 increases. This is filled by oil drawn from the tank through the NRV 1. At the same time, the oil present here, as I have told you in chamber 2, corresponding to the ring area, meaning here it is a pi by 4 dp square minus dr square rod area, it discharged through NRV2, what you can call pressure side valve. Now, how to find out the geometrical displacement here? VD2, what it is going? Pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square into h stroke. This area, the amount of oil will be discharged. VD2, what I can call. This is a double acting hand pump. This area is 1:2 or based on the requirement how much fluid has to discharge, they will select the different area ratio of 1 and 2. Now, during the return stroke of the piston, meaning moving down, when you are moving down, what happens? The oil in chamber 1 is driven through the NRV3, when you are moving down here, what happen? Whatever the fluid is there here, it is driven to the cylinder 2 through the NRV3. As chamber 2 area is less than the chamber 1 area, an amount corresponding to the rod area will be discharged to outlet through the NRV2. So, VD1 during the downward stroke, what is that? Pi by 4 d2 square into h. For the complete stroke means pushing down and pushing up, the one forward and one return stroke, the volume of oil displaced will be Vd equal to pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square plus d2 square into h. If you simplify this, look here, in order to provide equal force of actuation in both the direction, as also for more uniform flow, in such pumps the ratio of piston area to ring area is made 2:1. What is the meaning here? To make Vd1 equal to Vd2, I am equating the Vd1 and Vd2. Vd1 already I know it, 5 by 4 d2 square into h when the piston is moved up. When it is moving down, pi by 4 d1 square minus d2 square into h. After simplifying this, d1 square equal to 2 times d2 square. Meaning what? With the result Vd equal to pi by 2 d2 square into h, where h is the stroke. Using the simple geometrical relations, we are able to calculate the geometrical displacement of the pump. Now, we will see, friends, another category, two-stage hand pump it is. Two-stage hand pump it is. You will see here it is a oil tank. Inlet, and you will see this is handle, top one is a handle moving up and down. Here you will see, friends, a stepped piston. These are called a suction side NRVs, these are called a pressure side NRVs. Again, as usual, the drain valve is there when it is reversing. Also the changeover valve to do the some functions. Now schematically again I have drawn here to understand better. Stepped piston here, same as usual, when you will push down, what happen? It will move up. What happen? Fluid will be sucked to this side. Whatever the fluid is there, it will go to the load. When you are reversing load, you have to use a drain valve, directly it will go here. This is a very simple to understand the two-stage hand pump.